Hello, Adrian. How are you today?
I'm well. How are you, Michael?
I'm excellent. So I really enjoyed your movie Retrograde on multiple levels. Tell me, how long did it take to shoot this bad boy?
We shot over about 20 days. It was 18 days and then 2 days of reshoots a bit later.
Okay, okay. So you really cranked it out.
We really did. I mean, the budget kind of dictates that sometimes.
Right, right. So I'm told. So this movie hooked me in because I am someone who would passionately reduce my tickets, my parking tickets. So
Oh,
this
yeah.
spoke to me. And I can tell you, I don't know, maybe like two or three parking violations in Ottawa, and I would appeal them. I wouldn't, maybe I wouldn't get them all the way down, but I would accept. And
Oh, yes.
then one time in Quebec, I was in Gatineau and I couldn't appeal. And it really struck a nerve with me. It really hurt me. So I wanted to share that with you.
Yeah. No, I'm the same. I mean, I got more parking tickets during the shooting of this film than ever because
That's
I was
ironic.
in my parents' car. And I appealed them all. Some of them we got refunded for, others we didn't. So I am completely with you. And there's a speeding ticket I got when I was like 20, and I've been fighting that bad boy just in my head for the last 13 years. So
I tell people, create like an internal logic as to why you are right. You don't have to believe it, but you can try it. It's worth a shot.
and you always are. That's the great thing.
so, so I want to know though. Well, so you said you got a lot of tickets during this movie. What was some of the real life influence you took from that, or is there someone in particular who you know is very like pugnacious on this issue? Tell me about the influence on the movie specifically in this regard.
The Well, I mean, the ticket stuff just came from that was all from my own life, but it was
Oh,
actually the like astrology side
yeah, yeah,
where
yeah.
it came from. In terms of real life events. I was at a party and someone was doing like birth chart readings, and they were doing mine and saying, they were describing me to me. And I really disagreed with it, but all my friends were like, oh yeah, that's totally you. And it was just that, disconnect between who I thought I was and who everyone else saw me as that was just so, I just needed to prove to everyone that, I was who I think I am and I have control of that. So
And it's retrograde, referring to Mercury retrograde, where everything you're not supposed to communicate really. You're supposed to stay off technology, all this stuff.
that's right. And I think we are just getting out of one now, or
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Good to
so the
know.
stars are lined up for our theatrical screening perfectly.
That's fun. Do you know like which organization this astrologist was with, or like who they
Oh,
followed?
I don't think they were with an organization. It was just, someone who was enthusiastic about it and had their preferred astrology app open on their phone.
Okay, got it. Because
So
yeah, there's definitely degrees to these people.
for sure.
You
For
know,
sure.
like I have a family friend who just wrote wrote horoscopes and just made stuff up. And I know someone else who takes it very seriously. She's got like 500,000 subs on YouTube, and she can, oh my God, she can tell you things. But I mean, she knows how to tap into you. These people are very effective at reading you emotionally for sure, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A fun thing, we've had our astrologer come to our first Toronto screening of the
Uh,
film. And he really liked it. He said it perfectly captures the feeling of being in retrograde. But his predictions are scarily accurate. So
hmm?
I'm, yeah.
What do they say about you that you disagreed with?
Well, the thing is, I can't disagree with him. Everything he's said about me has turned out to be pretty accurate. And
Damn.
life events, he told us to be worried about money, and then some layoffs happened. So sometimes
Really,
sometimes it's eerie. Sometimes it's eerie.
what did he describe about you personally, though?
About me personally, it's just the usual Capricorn stuff. I like working hard. I to the detriment of other things.
Mm.
Yeah, he's more into describing events than your personality, which I think keeps keeps me from protesting a little bit more.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Feels a little less like an attack, I suppose.
Oh God. Okay. So were there the movie is like 70, just under 80 minutes, like 73, something like that. Were there scenes cut out from the movie?
There were, yeah. The script was about 100 pages, and when we first assembled everything, it was about a 95-minute movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, things get cut. You start to streamline it, make it a little more efficient.
Mhm.
I had to lose a lot of the funniest jokes, I thought, but they just weren't.
Aw.
Yeah. I find that often happens.
Could you share with us some of those moments?
It was just a lot more jokes about Elon Musk that
Okay.
had to go.
I see.
Yeah, that was a recurring thread that had to go for efficiency's sake. But yeah,
One thing I'll say about Elon Musk is he definitely thinks he's cool. But without anyone else thinking that.
absolutely.
He's
His
definitely
astrologer
convinced he's very cool.
cool. Yeah,
Pardon?
his astrologer might have told him he's cool.
Yeah. So tell me about finding character voice. How do you do that? How do you create that fun offbeat dialogue?
Well, I suppose they are all bits and pieces of me.
Mhm.
Like what Molly does with her ticket and with her roommates and all her arguments in this film. That's basically the monologue I have in my head whenever I'm trying to something, or I disagree with something. But I tend to keep it in versus fighting with everyone about it. I play a character in it. I'm sure I'm a lot like that character. Yeah, it's all just little different, heightened aspects of myself. But we also workshop it on the day, and so there can be improvisation, which helps it, from being just my voice. Molly, the lead, and I were housemates at one point, so we also have a good shorthand and know each other well enough to know when something's ringing false.
Would you describe writing as therapeutic?
I'd describe all writing as therapeutic, in that it's very difficult to do. And but then you're proud of yourself for having done it. So yeah, you exercise some demons.
Do you ever find it's like you're revisiting something and it's really intense almost, or it's like what you thought might be like a release, it like becomes anxiety inducing in a way?
I definitely, because when you just zero in on a problem, you can keep on, spiraling down into it even more. So, which is basically the process of writing, especially for this one, right? So you kind of are, overanalyzing something, and that's very anxious.
Good to know. Good to know. And are you a treatment guy? Do you like to just start? Do you like to do a lot of backstory, or do you like to just dive in?
I dive into an outline, and I dive right into the problem. If there's backstory, that tends to come a bit later, but I outline very rigorously before actually writing the screenplay.
Okay, tell me about the outlining.
Sure. Well, it's like I tend to have just a few narrative threads rolling around in my head like tumbleweeds. One was, for this one, it had the astrology thing, you had the ticket thing, and somehow they collided. And and then I write those beats, weave them together, think of the backstories, think of how they interact, how those events affect the relationships in the story, and then make that outline. And then with the outline, it's easy to talk to people about it versus sending them a whole script. I can send collaborators a 12-page outline, and it's way easier for them to read it and talk about what works, what doesn't work, versus a 90-page script.
Yeah, so you find that's an issue still for you to get people to like read like a 90-page script? Is that always an issue?
It's just a lot easier sometimes. Well, it's easier for me because I don't feel as precious about losing stuff that isn't working if I haven't already written it, loaded it up like that. And just time-wise, it's easier for people because we go through a lot of drafts of the outline. And it sort of is an easy way to get a bird's eye view of the story. Fine, versus the script. You can say, oh, I just want to, move these scenes over here and around here where it's a bit chunkier with the screenplay. You also get caught up on different things. You know, you get stuck on the dialogue, whereas when you're working with the outline, it's more about the structure of the story that I'm interested in.
Okay. And how did you learn to write?
Trial and error. I did go to school for it.
Right.
I went to I have a bachelor's degree in screenwriting from York University.
Very nice.
And but even you go to school, they just throw assignments at you and you have to, you know, it's just trial and error. You write something, you get feedback, you write some more, you get feedback.
Yeah. And do you believe in a writing habit, or are you a binge writer?
I definitely try. I believe in a habit. I try and maintain a habit, but it doesn't always work.
Okay. How long should a writing session be?
It should be oh boy, I don't know. It should be as long that you've written something.
Giving you like really specific questions.
Long enough that you leave with something on the page, but not so long that you beat yourself up about not writing more, I suppose.
Okay. I'm done with this line of questioning. I'm just very curious. It's a little vicious, I realize. What film festivals has Retrograde played at?
We premiered at Slam Dance
Nice.
in Park City, which is a lot of fun. We went there with my first film, and this was pre-COVID, and we got to go in person. That festival is a ton of fun to be at. It's, you know, great audience, great programmers. Everyone's really into just talking about film, really into film, making films, everything. And unfortunately, we had, you know, it was a digital only premiere this in 2022, but it was still a blast. Still got to chat with all the other filmmakers on email and check out their work. And then after that, we went to a few. There was Sidewalk Film Festival in Birmingham, Alabama, where Molly won an award.
Sweet.
We played at Rooftop Film Festival in New York City, which was a lot of fun. We got to go in person. It was an outdoor screening. They screened us right outside of a courthouse, which was very fun. It was very thematically appropriate.
Right.
And yeah, it was a lot of fun to see it, you know, with an audience for the first time there, but also in that interesting setting. And then we sort of recently had our hometown premiere in Toronto at the Canadian Film Festival, where we played at, you know, the theater that I go to a lot. Is the theater I saw Dune in like 8 times. So that was really exciting for me.
Which theater?
It was the Scotiabank Theater.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Big. Yeah. I cover TIFF, so.
Oh, right on. Yeah.
So that's it all goes down at the Scotiabank.
It all does. It always does. And the escalator was working for our screening, which was nice, but I know at TIFF that escalator never works. You gotta walk.
Yeah. Good stuff. And you're a big TIFF guy too. You're gonna be out and about there this year, you think? Oh
yeah, we tend to catch a couple movies at TIFF for sure.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What have been some memorable ones?
It's a lot of small. I really love going to the wavelength screenings because I never know. You know, I like going to those blind. I never know what I'm going to see. They're a really great cleanser. You know, I really loved seeing the Square at TIFF a few years ago.
The Square was amazing.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Packed theater. It was the first movie of Ruben Östlund's that I'd seen, so that was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Then there was an indie one, Kexakalu, that I saw. I think that was also maybe part of Wavelengths, but it was more of a narrative. And we went in blind and had a blast.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I love when you don't know what to expect.
Exactly. When you get the path, it's great. You can walk in, walk out at will.
Oh yeah. Okay, so let's talk about directing for a minute. Was there like were there a few moments that you would define as like big for you, or certain things to overcome, or like a particular decision you made that you think it was like a tough one but like a good one? We'll open the book.
Yeah, I guess because I am writing, you know, what I'm working on, I sort of feel like I start directing there. Like even when I'm writing the scene, I sort of have an idea of already the blocking that's going into the, you know, that we're going to end up with. there's a sort of climactic party scene in this film where, you know, you have a lot of the threads coming together. You have the ticket thread coming together, colliding with the astrology bit. It's one of the most tense scenes. It's one of the longest shots in the movie, and it also has the most actors involved. And that one was a lot of fun to do. It sort of felt like, for the first time, the movie had an audience, you know, because it wasn't just Molly in a room eating chips or on her computer, talking to people off screen, you know, which is what a lot of the movie is. It's sort of isolating her. And so we got to have people reacting, you know, live to the script, and even the crew were kind of getting involved on the arguments that Molly and her housemate were putting forward. So that was a ton of fun. That was a moment when I felt like it was really working. And yeah, you're always fighting, you know, logistics and scheduling, though. You know, this was a low budget movie, so you don't want to push people too hard. You don't want to waste people's time. You don't ask people to, you know, work beyond what they're paid for. But I'm very proud of the way me and my cinematographer, John Palenka, you know, decided to shoot the thing, because that sort of allows us, you know, to have very few setups in a day. Most of the scenes are one long take. And when you do it this way, everyone gets to have room to breathe while they work. You know, we're not running around doing 20 setups a day. We do 3 setups a day. We do like 20 takes. This leaves, you know, the DP, it gives him time to set up and get the scene looking the way he wants. It lets the actors do a lot of takes, get comfortable with the scene, try different things. No one's feeling like they're rushing around. Everyone has room to be creative, which I'm very proud of, that we could figure out a way to work on a low budget but still have room to be creative that way.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what's your least favorite sign? Which sign indicates you're a bad person?
Which astrology sign?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. Capricorn, I guess, because I know the negative things about Capricorns, which is what I am. So
okay. That's nice. Throw yourself.
I've heard a lot bad about Scorpios, but I like Scorpios. The ones that
right. Well, they don't tell the truth. That's right. That's what I learned from this
movie.
Yeah. Good stuff. Adrian, thanks so much for your time. I really enjoyed Retrograde. What is the best reason for people out there to go watch the movie, in your opinion?
You will either recognize yourself in it, or you'll recognize someone you know in it.
That's true. I totally agree with you. All right. Well, thank you so much, and have a great day.
Thank you.